It is.
Receiving your content. Your audience will see it in a moment. Get ready.
Yay!
You are live.
Yay.
The internet can totally see you now. To stop, use your encoder. Well, no, I won't use my encoder because all it ever does to me is overload things. And you know what we're going to do tonight? We're going to overload your brains with talk about anime. This is the Can We Keep It podcast, also called the QQ podcast.
Yay, hello!
And that's Melancholy.
Hola.
That is Melancholy. And Siege!
Long-time listener, first-time interviewer or interviewee.
Guest. Live guest.
Absolutely.
Yes, as we begin here, I'm just going to check the stream health and be adding some Instagram pictures on the Instagram when I can, and we'll just check on the stream health. Oh, hey, Fab is in the room. Hey, Fabby.
Hey, what is up,
Hey,
Fab?
Fab.
How are you?
Our
Hello.
first chatter of the evening. I'm so
Hello.
proud. Oh,
He
so
has
proud.
that alarm on that YouTube.
He's so on top of it. It's crazy. He's like the
Real
most
good.
diligent
Real
of
good.
viewers. Fantastic.
Fab, since you're here, right now we're just, in these first few minutes, we're just doing a stream health check and a volume check, etc. And if you could give us some feedback on everybody's volume. Hey, media! You guys are doing awesome.
Diligent.
It's like 3 a.m.
Media.
Oh my goodness. Fab, where are you?
Hi, media.
Are you in the UK then? I mean, you don't have to tell us specifically, like, give us your address.
He lives in Buckingham Palace. He's really Prince Harry.
Okay, I'm waiting to see the podcast on the channel. I, for some reason, am not seeing it. John is seeing it.
Presumably, Fab got on here so quickly because of subscriptions. Otherwise, I don't know how you could have gotten on so fast. You're in Sweden, Fab.
He's a
I know
ninja.
exactly.
He's a Swedish ninja.
I know exactly one other person from Sweden.
Whoa.
Oh,
That's me. That is me.
that's what you get for checking on your phone.
God, it's not showing up.
Molly is loud as usual, and Kat is real low. I will turn up my volume
Oh, I'm sorry.
all the way. Except now, I don't know, media. Am I far too loud? If I just talk at a normal volume, I've turned up the volume on my mic.
You sound normal to me.
And for anyone who pops in later, we won't spend the whole time doing this. It's really just going to be like the first 3.5 minutes. I was
Mic check,
monitoring
1,
your
2, 1,
channel.
2.
Hashtag not
All right,
creepy
all
at
right,
all.
all right, all right.
Nice.
It always takes us a minute to get
Ooh,
ready
and
anyway.
actually,
Oh yeah, there it
you know
is.
what? I am
Okay.
going to bump up the chat box to see if we can have it appear. I think it might have appeared, and now it will appear in the moon. Woo!
Yay!
So exciting.
Chatting in the moon. Hey Timothy, how are you? Thanks for dropping in and leaving a like.
Hey, y'all.
Hello everybody. And Kat,
Lydia,
I
I'm still
loved the
quiet.
avatars that you made for us today, by the way. I
I'm
absolutely
glad.
love them.
I worked really hard on them.
Yes.
Yeah, they're amazing.
Obviously, I did use like an avatar generator from that website there that is rinmarugames.com. But I did do a lot of post work on them. Like I adjusted Molly's chin a little bit, and I had to adjust her nose because the noses they gave just were not satisfactory.
Did you put blood on Molly's mouth?
Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure why my mouth is bleeding, but I'm not unhappy about it.
Is it bleeding, or did she just?
I may have just eaten someone's heart. I have no idea.
Eaten someone's heart.
Or-
You don't know.
Or some Hello Pandas, those poor pandas.
Yes.
Thank you, Media. I'm glad you are enjoying the avatars. And Siege, did you say that your cousin made yours?
Yes. It is an old
I
picture
enjoy-
of when I used to smoke.
Oh.
Molly, I
Oh, is that? Oh, you have a cigarette in your mouth. See, it's a little tiny. I couldn't tell.
Moderator. Molly, I have made you.
Oh, did you give me a
moderator
wrench?
You have the power of the wrench
Oh, wait.
now.
Wait. Oh, I do! Yay! Thank you for the power of the
All right,
wrench.
guys. In exactly 2 seconds, it's going to be at the 5-minute mark. So I think it may possibly be time to begin with the actual content. Also, hi, Timothy. Good to see ya.
Oh, and Johnny's here. Hello, Johnny.
Hello, Johnny.
Wrenches
Maybe-
for multiple people.
All right. Fab suggests lowering mine and Siege's volume so that he
Okay.
can then turn the volume of the video up, which I think was what he had to do last time. And you know what, Fab? Excellent news on this score. Kat is coming home to me, in 2 days, and I am very excited. And
And
we'll be
Kat's
able to
leaving
do
me.
this- Yeah, Kat's leaving Siege, but she's
Alas.
coming home to me, and we'll be able to do these podcasts from in the same room with the same mic again, like we
won't
used to.
have quite as many problems. But you know what? For having done this, what has this been? Has it only been 2 times or 3 times?
Remotely, this is our 3rd time doing it
Oh my
remotely.
gosh, that's more than we've had
Hi, Timothy.
in-person episodes, technically speaking.
It's true.
How crazy is that? All right.
Oh my God.
Well, everybody, once again, welcome to the Can We Keep It podcast, a creepy cute
Welcome.
podcast with the Mad Hat Cat
And Melancholy.
That's her.
Yay.
Right there. And we have a
Yay.
special guest today. Siege824 GameTime is his YouTube name. We'll just call him Siege because I'm not saying all those words repeatedly again and again and again.
Hey, Siege, what is up?
Just call me Hey You over there.
You.
like most women.
Over there.
I would like to call you that one Filipino dude. Can I call you that? Is that okay?
Yeah, but what if Flip comes into the room?
If Flip comes
shoot.
in, then I will say that one of 2 Filipino dudes. But right now, you'll just be that one.
Ooh.
You know, since I'm on the podcast, if he goes in, I'm gonna have to give him a discount for viewing.
Oh, does it? Wait, what? Are we charging for views today?
Yeah.
I mean,
No,
I
nothing.
put
I give
a
'em-
tip jar
yeah.
out there mostly just so that we could see if we got any new subscribers. But none of that. So now that we've introduced everybody, the subject of tonight is anime. It's just a general topic, and we will probably do more specific episodes at a later date, kind of like we've been doing with other things. I hope you guys enjoy my very ridiculous title, Otaku, Notaku. I think Molly would be the Notaku here.
I am the Notaku. I am the
And-
wannabe taku. Is that
the
a word?
wannabe taku?
Can that be a word?
As long as you're not the weeaboo taku.
What does that mean?
Yep. Want to
take
be
this one,
Japanese? Yeah.
Oh, no. I am learning
Oh.
Japanese, though.
Yeah.
I mean, does that make me a wee?
Learning Japanese. I think I'm learning Japanese.
Turning Japanese on.
So, I thought it was no taco, and I accidentally said no taco earlier, but I didn't take it back because I am okay with being a no taco as well. Although I do love tacos.
I kind of want tacos now. Have you tried Korean tacos?
That
They're
sounds
awesome.
delicious.
I have not. What
On
goes
that
into
note,
it?
I would actually like to say, by the way, even though I am a bit of an otaku, my obsession with Japan did not begin with anime. I know that I make this weird little, disclaimer all the time. I'm sure people have heard it before. But I would just like to say, I was a Nippon-phile before I was an otaku. I was completely
now-
in love with Japan before I even knew what anime was.
Okay, because see, now I'm just going to let you guys know here and now that I could not be more ignorant on the majority of what we're going to be talking about tonight. So I'm going to be asking a lot of questions in the style of our beloved Kurt, and I apologize, but what did you just say about Nippon? What's that?
Nippon is Japanese
for
word for Japan.
Yeah.
Oh.
Japan's a word now.
Yeah.
Yes, he did not know that. Okay, cool. All right. Yay, I'm learning. I'm learning so much today. I'm really excited about this. Yeah. So how did you get into anime, Cat? Because I know that was what we were going to start with talking about how, and we brought Siege in, by the way, guys, because he's a bit of an expert on this subject, and we're very happy that he's here with us today. But how did you get into anime, Cat? I'm interested to hear that story.
Well, it was a little bit of a process. I mostly blame my best friend at the time. His name was Sean. When I was in 5th grade, I had seen a little bit of anime like on Toonami on Cartoon Network, so late night. And that's probably because anime tends to have some violence and some adult content. Or I guess also there was some anime on in the afternoons, like right after school. And
Toonami.
Was Toonami always in the afternoon, Siege, or did that eventually go to late night?
It eventually went to late night. Actually, they just revived it, like I believe 2 years ago, and yeah, it's now, doing new animes, doing Hunter x Hunter, Dragon Ball Super right now. But it was originally after school time slot, so around like 5 to 7.
Well, all right then.
Okay.
What's up, Xerxes? Yay, anime!
Yes, guys, if I miss anything in the chat, I am routinely going back there and checking on that, and I believe Molly does that as well.
Yes, I'm actually watching chat. Like currently, right now, I'm on the chat permanently. So, because you're going to be looking at OBS, I assume, most of the time. So I got my eyes
a little bit. I did take some time to. I realized that our names were not above our anime avatars that have been custom made for today.
Yes,
and so I took a minute to put those in there, and everybody got to see live as I adjusted very carefully.
It is really, really all right. I like it, actually. It's like getting to watch, something being built. I don't know. I like watching people mess around with their overlays in OBS.
Yeah, no, I do the same thing. So,
you were talking about,
I was talking about
how you got into anime.
So the first couple of animes that I saw were Sailor Moon. That was the one that my friend Sean introduced me to, and one that stuck with me for a really long time, and also eventually led me to other magical girl subgenre animes, which we will get to genres of anime in a little while. And then there was also Tenchi Muyo, and that was a big one for me. I'm usually not a big fan of, drop another genre name, harem animes, where it's always, generally speaking, like one kind of nerdy average guy. He's usually really focused on his studies, could never get a girl, and then all of a sudden women just start popping up and dropping from the sky. And in Tenchi Muyo, women are literally dropping from the sky, like out of spaceships, and into Tenchi's lap. And
so true.
Poor Tenchi. He has such a hard life. And Inuyasha was another one that I started watching more on late night TV. I ended up really liking that because I enjoyed the feudal setting of feudal Japan, and also I enjoy people with animal ears. What can I say? You might have noticed that from my little anime.
You don't like people with anime ears. Stop telling lies. Dom,
so yeah,
what is up?
Dommy Mommy.
Hey, Dommy is in the house.
How's it going? We're learning about anime. I've already learned like 12 words I didn't know 10 minutes ago. I'm really excited about it.
We're definitely dropping some Japanese in the house tonight.
Taking notes, Mom?
I am.
Let's see. Sailor Moon, Tenchi Muyo, Inuyasha, Dragon Ball, and all of its subsequent entities were also what was also one of the ones that I was watching. Depending on what story arc was happening on Dragon Ball, I didn't necessarily watch it as much, because if it was a series of like 4 episodes where all that was happening with Goku was that he was powering up to his next Super Saiyan form, or whatever villain they were up against at the time, if they were spending 4 episodes powering up, I didn't care. And I get it, yes, a lot of internal dialogue.
Yeah, see, that was always like
muscles bulging, veins popping.
That's a basic stereotype right there of anime.
And see,
as a whole.
that's what we were talking about before when I got into anime, which was only very, very recently, and it's still a little sparingly for myself. That was the Dragon Ball thing. Dragon Ball was and Inuyasha as well, but Dragon Ball in particular was actually a huge deterrent for me. It was a big part of why I couldn't get into it, because I remember like flipping, like channel surfing, and Dragon Ball would be on, like I think Cartoon Network at the time, and it's like every single time, no matter what day, no matter what time of day, I would flip over and there would be Dragon Ball and another character would be going ah! So I'm just like, everyone is always yelling at each other. I can't take it.
And
of course I know now that's not
as opposed to Naruto, which they'll go straight to the fight, but in the middle of the fight they'll stop and talk about your feelings.
Well, see, I don't mind that because I'm a Supernatural fan, so I am perfectly accustomed to people stopping in the middle of the fight to talk about their feelings. That doesn't bother me. But I know now, of course, that all anime is not people shouting at each other. I just unfortunately had been exposed to, the very sort of stereotypical, the anime that created the stereotypes was all I had really been exposed to.
This is Sailor Moon, Dragon Ball.
Now, is there a lot of yelling in Sailor Moon? Which, by the way, John said he had questions about Sailor Moon.
There's a lot of transformation and recycle animation. I will say that.
Henshin sequence.
Yep, henshin.
There's another word for you, henshin. Hensi or Shin in Romanji, which is basically just Romanized Japanese words, so written in a Roman alphabet. Henshin. Means transformation.
Transform.
Okay.
And that's basically what like the bread and butter of anime is, like, or at least anime hero type is transformations.
You gotta have the transformation.
Well, I get that, because one of my favorite things about, and I don't know if this would quite be considered the same thing, but one of my favorite things about Persona 5, of which the list is very long, but one of my favorite things about Persona 5 is the transformation from the normal high school student into, or at least they're not transforming into their persona, but their persona is manifested.
Yes.
And it does feel a bit like a transformation when they rip their mask off and kind of become their true inner self. I'm a huge, huge fan of that. And so if that is related to the same kind of henshin stuff that you guys are talking about. I used the word. Did I use it right?
Yep.
Yay! But yeah, then I could see why that would be appealing and why that would be commonly found throughout anime, because it is very interesting, I think.
Actually, all the henshin stuff started out as from Kamen Rider and Super Sentai. Super Sentai is Power Rangers. Is the original word for Power Rangers.
Okay.
So that's where the origin of henshin came from, was from Super Sentai and Kamen Riders.
Okay. And now John asks, aren't the Sailor Moon girls 14 years old in relationships with adults?
Technically speaking, Mamoru-kun, that's Usagi's boyfriend. I believe
Tuxedo Mask.
He is 18 or 19 in the original series. He's in college. So yes, technically speaking, I guess kind of maybe.
Okay.
But
now, who is Tuxedo Mask? Because Siege keeps talking about this character, and I've never seen a single episode of Sailor Moon, and I'm very sorry.
If you saw the character, you would know you'd know him immediately, because
he's literally
dressed in a tuxedo, and he has
wearing like
a little white domino mask and a black top hat, and he's always carrying a red rose. And
I can see him in my head.
Like moment when Sailor Moon is about to be like, "Oh no, she will be no more." You'll hear this shing, pink.
He tosses a rose and motivates her.
He'll like fire it almost like a throwing knife. Like it's apparently like the petals still fall and kind of waft in the breeze as though they are, real rose petals, but the stems are clearly made of like knives.
Right.
Or needles, at least.
He has a really great character theme too. Like you'll start hearing castanets playing as he speaks about lovely women in the night. How dare you attack such beautiful preciousness?
See, okay, what I'm asking.
Be here to stop you, for I am Tuxedo Mask.
Cat. What I'm asking is, who is he? I know what he looks like. What I'm asking, though, is who is he? Because I don't understand how he fits into that world at all.
Okay.
But I know what he looks like. Even never having seen a single episode, I can picture Tuxedo Mask in my head.
So you know Usagi, or Serena, for those who watched the original dub. Serena / Usagi is the main character of the show. She transforms into Sailor Moon. And that's her superhero persona. In her regular life, she meets this guy called Mamoru, or in the English dub, the original one, his name was Darien.
Say like Princess Serena. Darien.
What a name. What a name.
And so that guy, unbeknownst to Serena / Usagi, transforms into Tuxedo Mask, and that's like his not quite superhero persona. At first, he's more like a masked thief, because he doesn't really have any superpowers originally. He's just kind of like really stealthy and comes in at just the right moment to like distract the enemy long enough for Usagi to stop being such a crybaby and just fucking use her magical moon-based weaponry. Like, it's just, come on. But there was always that point in the episode, where she would start to be a crybaby and, like, get too scared to do anything, and he would pop out of nowhere, throw the rose, distract, and occasionally, it would, like, slice a cheek, of the
get a nice little scar.
The freak of the week. What would we technically call those yokai? Siege, do you think? I think we.
Yeah, I would say yokai.
We'll call them yokai.
Yokai.
New Japanese word, yokai. Which would we call yokai demon or monster, or like somewhere in between, depending?
Yes, I would say yeah.
Because I know that there's a word for monster, and then there's a word for demon. Like in
yokai is demon,
sense.
I think.
Yeah, I think you're right, but I still think that they called them yokai. In the original series, at least for the first season. Or maybe it was Shen, something with Shen. I don't know. I'll think of it. Anyway, did that answer your question, Molly and or John?
Yes, it did. Thank you.
Yeah.
I was just curious because like I said, having never seen a single episode, I really didn't know much about it. And what I had known about it was all very fashion oriented. I saw a lot of Sailor Moon cosplay. It definitely seemed to be about like a group of powerful young girls. And then Tuxedo Mask I knew was a part of it, but that was quite literally the extent of my knowledge. This is interesting. I mean, I'm really liking.
Yes, the fuku, the sailor uniforms were. I don't know if it was ever like really a big thing for the magical girl genre at that point. I mean, Sailor Moon was still pretty early on. But Sailor Fuku just became like a huge trope throughout like all of anime forevermore. So always with the sailor collar and the big bow and of course the tiny short skirts. And somehow when they transform, they also like gain about 8 inches of height because their legs just go on forever.
Or the skirts get shorter. It's an optical illusion.
I don't know. I think it might be a little bit of both. Which would almost make sense. Like if they when they transformed, their bodies kind of underwent like a little bit of a maturation because it would help hide their secret identity. And with someone like Sailor Moon who has ankle length blonde hair. And always wears it in, pigtail buns on either side of her head, that's probably not a super common hairdo or hair length. But it's, anime, so willing suspension of disbelief.
Awesome. All right, we are discussing in chat just an issue with latency because we've got a couple of people that are having issues with buffering. And Fab was talking about a low latency setting that you can do in YouTube. We would have to restart the stream for that. So, I mean, we don't have to do it tonight, I don't think, unless there's a way to do it. He's going to send me instructions on doing it in Discord so we can do it for next time.
As far as I have for right now, stream health isn't green, which seems to very rarely happen.
Yeah.
But I don't know, if we need to restart the stream, I mean, there's what, 7 people in here? Will you guys come back? I mean...
Oh, you know what? I always have my settings on low latency. I wonder if Kat... I don't know if you'd be able to look and see what your setting is at right now.
Yeah, I should be able to look. What's is it under in OBS?
It's not OBS, actually. It's within YouTube.
Okay.
And it's on your stream... your live streaming window right there. Hold on, I'm looking in Discord too, so I can tell you. Under stream options, it's right next to basic info. It's the tab right next to it.
I'm on low latency.
Okay, she is on low latency, Fab. You gotta call upon those beautiful, magical overseas internet gods, I think. I'm so sorry that it's buffering for you so much. Yeah. Media and I aren't having problems.
Here's a nice little tidbit, though.
Yeah.
The creator of Sailor Moon, Naoko Takeuchi, is actually married to the creator of Yu Yu Hakusho.
When did that happen? I didn't know that.
It was a long time ago. That's why if you see like the last episode, like one of the last episodes of Yu Yu Hakusho, Koenma is dressed up like Tuxedo Mask.
Oh my gosh! Of course, I love it. I never got to watch Yu Yu Hakusho all the way through, but Yu Yu Hakusho was one of the ones that I was kind of watching around that time. That probably, again, went the way of Full Metal Alchemist, Big O, Gundam Wing, Trigun, Lupin the Third, Rurouni Kenshin. I didn't get to watch those quite as often. Here is another one that I was watching really early in the early days. And even though it's such a short series, both in anime and manga form...
Fooly.
Oh my god, how did you know?
Lucky guess. You know they're coming up with Season 2 and Season 3?
John also said, anyone want to elaborate on possible United States edits to Sailor Moon and Dragon Ball Z?
The localizations?
I don't know. Did you see that, Kat? What Fab said?
Uncheck enable DVR. I would uncheck it. I would have to stop the stream to do so.
Okay. Well, we can always restart. It's entirely up to you guys. I don't mind either way.
I'm not going anywhere.
I'm not going anywhere either.
All right.
This is my
I tell you what. I will pause the stream and we will pick back up on talking about Furikuri in just a moment.
All right.
Stand by.